What's going on, OTs? It's Sarah Putt here from the OT for Life podcast. And you know what? Today, I'm switching it up. I'm keeping you guys on your toes. I don't have any guests lined up. I have no interviews. It's just going to be me. And I'm going to be talking about something that I'm super passionate and super excited about. And it's actually something that's coming up if you are an OT practitioner, a student within the States. We have the AOTA Conference 2019 that's coming up in just a couple weeks. And needless to say, I can't be more excited. And every day that passes, I'm just getting more and more and more excited about this conference. It is honestly one of my absolute favorite times of the year, and I love it so much that I wanted to dedicate an entire episode sharing with you guys what it looks like, what to expect, what are some of my favorite things about the conference, and give you some tips on how to prepare and hopefully get you guys just as excited as I am about this. If you're interested in occupational therapy, this is the place for you. This show aims to explore our profession by sharing who we are and what we do. Because for us, occupational therapy is more than just a job. Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to OT for Life. First, I wanted to start with a little backstory because, in all honesty, I haven't always been as passionate about attending conferences as I am now. And so I want to share this story with you guys because hopefully it will resonate with some of you that maybe haven't been to a conference yet, or maybe are debating whether or not conferences are worth attending and even something that you should do. So my story is I had been a practitioner for about 4 years, and the conference popped up in Nashville back in 2014. And I had always wanted to go to Nashville, and I had never been to an AOTA conference before. And really, I never quite knew like what I would get out of a conference. It was always a lot of money, so I was always kind of like, I don't know if it's worth it. And I just had this idea that it would be a waste of time. And I hate saying that now, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I honestly just thought it was going to be a waste of time. But because I wanted to go to Nashville, I was like, you know what? Here's a good excuse for me to go to Nashville, and I'll go check out what this AOTA conference is all about. So I show up in Nashville, I go to the conference, and afterwards I am refreshed with the profession. I am so inspired. I'm so motivated. I had the absolute best time ever and just absolutely fell in love with the AOTA conference. And ever since that point, I have been completely converted, and I have not missed an AOTA conference since. So yeah, I hope that this speaks to some of you guys. I wasn't always a conference goer. I didn't always believe in it, but now I know the importance of going and supporting our national association, the importance of networking and connecting with like-minded individuals, and I understand the benefits of everything that you can get by going to AOTA. And it's not just actually AOTA. This could be any of the occupational therapy conferences or just conferences in general. So if you can't make it to an AOTA conference, try to make it to one of your state or local conferences. I've attended the Occupational Therapy Association of California conference a couple times, and I was actually fortunate enough to even go to the World Federation of Occupational Therapists conference in Cape Town, South Africa last year, which was an experience in itself. And yeah, as you can see, I love going to conferences and I absolutely love AOTA. All right, So let's talk a little bit about what the actual conference looks like. I'm going to give you the rundown and briefly talk about some of the things that I've done. There's still a lot that I haven't done, but I'm going to throw things out there and just try to give you a picture about what it is that the conference actually looks like. And so the AOTA conference is 4 days long. That includes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday being full days. So basically starting around 7:30, 8 in the morning, depending on what sessions and everything that you go to, and ending anywhere around 5, 6, 7 p.m., depending on what's going on at night. So when I say full days, I mean full jam-packed days. And then there's also Sunday, which is a half day, which typically goes from like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then there's also pre-conference institutes that are offered on the Wednesday before the conference. And just so you guys know, well, I've never gone to the pre-conference institute, so I don't know specifically what they look like, but they're an option for you guys. But what I do know is that they are not included in the full registration price. You actually have to pay separate to that. So keep that in mind as you're looking at the financials of going to the conference. But I've had a lot of friends that have gone to them and they've gotten a lot of good information about it. And actually, our most recent guest that we just had on, Brandon Siegel, he's presenting at one of the pre-conference institutes on private practice. So if I could, I totally would go to that one. But unfortunately, I fly in on Wednesday and I'll miss it because I'm flying in the middle. But definitely an option, something that you guys can do if you end up going to the conference early. All right, so what else? There are, here, I got a lot for you guys. There are workshops, there are short courses, there are research presentations and panels where they're presenting about the most recent upcoming research that's coming out. Some of the cool ones are where they actually will pick a topic and then they'll have 3 or 4 different presenters that will come on and talk about their research revolving around that topic. So it's a great way to get really good content, really good information that surrounds various topics. There is also, there's something, it's called Conversations That Matter. And basically you go and there's like a brief presentation right in the beginning from the presenter. And then you break off into groups and you talk about it. And then you might reconvene and talk about it as an entire group. But it's a really cool way to get that chance to network with others and talk about different topics that are popping up within our profession. Then we have the posters, which are absolutely phenomenal, and they last multiple days, and there's different sessions throughout the day, and we're talking hundreds of posters. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and you can just walk through the halls and see which one stands out to you and who you want to talk to and who you want to get more information about. It's also a great way to see kind of what schools are doing, what specific research. And let's see, what else do we have? I know this is a lot. I'm just going to throw it all out there. There are alumni receptions. So on most of the nights, some of the different schools actually have receptions and little get-togethers, which are also super fun. So like students and alumni, they can go and just kind of hang out. And it's a great way to just connect with people at the conference. There is the presidential address, which is great to go listen and hear what's going on. There's the Eleanor Clark Slagle lecture. And there's also fitness opportunities, fitness experiences. And so like some of the mornings they'll actually have like a Zumba class or yoga. They've had running in the past, which if you are an early riser and want to get your workout on, you can definitely go do that and meet up with other people that are interested in that. And if you haven't been before and it's going to be your first time attending, there is a first timers orientation, which will lay out in even more detail than I'm giving you right now what to expect and how to manage your schedule, and like just different things that you can do within the conference. So definitely check that out if you haven't been before. Get some more information. And then there's also the expo hall, which is super fun as well, which is where all like different companies come, organizations, the schools are there, the universities, and there's products, there's books, there's like, you name it, it's there in the expo hall, and the energy in there is insane, absolutely insane. Oh, and I also wanted to mention something that they're doing this year, which is really cool. AOTA is actually putting together a local blood drive and a book drive. So if you're looking for ways to give back while you go to the conference, check it out. Okay, so I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the benefits of going to the AOTA conference as a practitioner. First things first, you can get continuing education units, which is huge. And you can get up to 24. So you can knock out all or almost all of your continuing education units that you need just by going to the conference, which is amazing, right? Like, we're all looking to further our learning and further our education. And here's a great way to have so many options in order to get your CEUs. The other benefit of going is that you get exposed to new research and practice areas, and like these emerging practice areas that are popping up. And it's fascinating each year to see where the trends kind of are, what research is coming out, what they're focusing on, and what are the new things that are popping up within our profession. One of the biggest benefits that I feel the conference provides is the networking opportunities and that connection, meeting like-minded people, making new friends, and really connecting to our profession. I can't say enough. It's amazing. It is one of the best parts about going to the conference for me. And I have met so many amazing people going to the AOTA conference and going to other conferences. And I've made some just fantastic friends as well. So can't stress that enough. Networking, making connections, and honestly, like finding your tribe, finding people that will push you, challenge you, support you, and continue this OT journey with you. It's just amazing. It's fantastic. And kind of in that same vein, the inspiration and motivation that you can get by attending this conference is unbelievable. It's one of those things that the conference is so overwhelming. There's so much going on. There are 10,000 plus people, OT practitioners, educators, students, all of these things, and there's constantly stuff going on. And I always come home from the conference and I'm completely exhausted. But it always just inspires me and motivates me to continue learning, to continue growing as an occupational therapist, and continue just moving forward within the profession. I also wanted to take a moment to talk about some of the benefits that going as a student does or has. If any of my previous fieldwork students are listening to this, they know I bring this up all the time. Actually, I should say previous fieldwork students and volunteers. They know how important going to AOTA and going to conferences is. And I am constantly pushing them, go as a student. You don't have to wait until you're a practitioner, just go. And one of the really cool things is that a lot of schools, they will actually offer scholarships for students to attend the AOTA conference. I believe like you have to apply and there's a whole process with your school, but if you are a student and you want to go, look into that and see if your school offers a scholarship, because that will help with some of the funding and make it a little bit easier for you guys to go, and you don't have to worry quite as much about the money. The other thing about going as a student is that there are specific courses and presentations that are just for students. And so it's a great way to get very student-centric information and also connect with other students as well. So there's definitely some really good things about going as a student. You can get exposure to new ideas, new information. Yeah, so honestly, it's just like a really good way to connect with other students, connect with practitioners, connect with educators, and all that good stuff. And probably the best part, or maybe one of the most exciting parts about going to the AOTA conference as a student, is that you could have the potential to win a free NBC OT exam. And I know that always gets all of the students excited. And so I'll let you know, if you want to find it, you have to go to the expo hall and you have to find the NBCOT booth. And they have a little, what do you call that? They have a little lever spinner thingy that you have to wait in a long line because everybody's there trying to win it. But yeah, you could go, you could test your luck and see if you can win a free NBC OT exam. Definitely worth it if you can get it. Okay. Let's see. What else? What else do I love about the AOTA conference, and what are things that I can share with you guys? Why don't I talk a little bit about my favorite parts of the conference? First off, what I start with every year, it is Thursday morning. I think it starts at like 7 or 7:30 in the morning. It's the international breakfast, and it is hands down one of my favorite parts of the AOTA conference. And there's usually a keynote speaker that will come in and talk about occupational therapy across the globe. And I love it. It's so inspiring, and it's a great way to connect with OT practitioners that have a passion for OT across the world. And so it's like my kickoff to the conference every year, and it's a great way to just get inspired for the rest of the conference. So there's the international breakfast, but I also want to say Thursday, the very first day of the conference, is such a big day for me because I start early, and then two of my other favorite things happen later on in the day, and that is the opening ceremony and the keynote address, as well as the grand opening of the expo hall. Whew, where do I even start with all of that? So the opening ceremony is all about getting people pumped up. There's dancing, there's singing. It's amazing. And you are in this huge room with everybody else that's attending the conference. Definitely a little sensory overload, but it is so fun and just pumps you up and gets you ready. And then part of that is the keynote address, which just continues that inspiration and that motivation and getting you ready for the rest of the weekend. And then straight from there, everybody funnels into the expo hall for the grand opening. And it is just such an exciting event. All the booths are there and everybody is just walking around. They'll serve some food and you can just go check out everything. And so Thursday is a big day, but it's a fun day, and it just sets the stage for the rest of the conference. And I love it. I'm like exhausted thinking about it, but I love it because it's just, it's so fun. Another one of my favorite things about AOTA is the tweet up. Last year was the first year that I went, and I can't believe that I hadn't been before. It was so much fun. So if you guys are on social media, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, and you want to go meet up with some of the other people that maybe you follow on social media, everyone's going to be there. everyone should be there. If you're not there, hopefully you have a good excuse. But it's just a great way to connect with some of those people that you follow on social media and see what everyone is up to and meet people in real life. Like virtually, you follow them, you know what's going on, but it's great to just connect with them. And last year, I met so many people that I had previously followed, but then I also met so many people that I'm like, wait a second, how did I not know about you? I immediately started following them, and it's a great way to keep in touch with everybody. So definitely add the tweet up to your list. It's a lot of fun, and I love it. So now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what tips or strategies, like what are things that I can share with you about how to prepare about attending AOTA conference? First off, I would highly suggest getting business cards. It's a great way when you run into somebody and sometimes you might have 5 minutes to talk to them, but sometimes you might have 10 seconds. And it's like, hey, here's my business card, reach out to me later. And it's a great way to kind of like be able to share your information, but then also get information from other people that you can, when you have time, go back and then connect with them after that. There are so many people at AOTA, and I always come back with a stack of business cards. And one of the little strategies that somebody had told me is actually like writing on it maybe something that will help you jog your memory about who it was, especially if it was somebody that you didn't talk to very long. But you could say, oh, I met this person at the expo hall and they were talking about X, Y, and Z. And just like write that on there, and that will help you at the end of the conference. Let's see. The next thing I would say is bring a little notebook and a pen, or like the notepad on your phone or something like that, so that you can write down notes and also write down any contact information for the people that you meet. I don't typically do that, and I've heard people tell me to do that in the past, and I always think like, oh, I'll remember. Yeah, I don't. So I am going to try this strategy this year, and like everybody I meet, I'm going to try to write something down, write their contact information. So after the conference, I can go back and take time and then make sure that I can reach out to people and follow up with them after the conference and after some, like all of the madness has calmed down. Other things, I always bring a water bottle. Like I have a hydro flask that I absolutely love. I bring that water bottle with me and I carry it. There's typically water fountains, like drinking fountains within the conference center. So then you can just fill it up. It's super easy. Then you don't have to always be buying water, which is great. Cut down on waste as well. Other things would be like bringing an extra battery pack for your phone, bringing your phone charger, bringing your computer charger, because there's always so much going on. There's an app on your phone, and that will drain your battery pretty quickly. If you're jotting things down, like you want to just make sure that you're prepared and that you don't run out of battery for your phone or your computer or anything like that. So I always like to just be prepared and have it. And if I don't use it, great. But if I need it, then I'm not finding myself in a pinch. I'd also recommend wearing comfortable shoes because you're going to be in them all day. And also bringing like a sweater or a coat, because some of the meeting rooms and the presentation rooms can get chilly. And I don't like to be cold, so I always like to be prepared and have something just in case it is a little chilly within the rooms. And here is an idea. If you are going with a group of people, especially if you're students and you're going with a group from your school, or maybe it's from your organization, your clinic, your hospital, something like that. There are so many different things to be doing all at the same time. It's impossible to go to all of them. And so what you can do is actually break it up and have one person go to like a different event and then meet back up later and share notes. And so it's a great way to get the information from other courses that you don't physically attend yourself. So food for thought, if you're going in a group and there are 3 presentations that you want to go to that are all at the same time on the same day, find somebody that can go to one, or find multiple people that can go to the ones that you want to, and then compare notes afterwards. It's a great idea because then you don't have to be in 3 places at once. Another thing that I think is really, really, really important is attempt to connect with people before you go. And what I mean by that is reach out on social media and find out who is going to be there. If you are a part of an occupational therapy Facebook group, reach out and be like, hey, who of you guys are going to be at the conference? Or reach out on Instagram, reach out on Twitter, and see who out there in the social media OT world is also going to be there, and connect with them. A story that I have for you guys is what actually happened last year. I am a part of an occupational therapy entrepreneur group, and one of the members had posted a couple weeks before the conference that she was going to be there and wanted to connect with other members in that group. And I responded and was like, yeah, I'm going to be there. Definitely hit me up. And we connected, and we ended up actually attending one of the same courses. And then afterwards, we sat down and chit-chatted for a little bit. And now we have actually remained in contact. We started a little OT mastermind group, and we Skype once a month and just talk about life and talk about our goals and motivate each other. And yeah, this all started because she reached out to the group and wanted to connect with other people that are in that group. So put yourself out there and try to connect with people beforehand, and then set it up where you can meet with them there. And I've done it with a couple other people too, and it's absolutely, it's great. All right, so I know that was a lot. It is. AOTA is, there is a lot going on, and just be prepared that you can't do everything, but pick the things that are most important and just go with it. And honestly, be open for opportunities to just kind of happen, and allow things to, I guess, don't be booked 100% of all the days, because you won't have the flexibility to have things just spontaneously happen. So take breaks, go up and chat with people that are sitting at the tables, or walking in the halls, or maybe that are hanging out by themselves. Just go up and talk to them. Allow for opportunities, and allow for opportunities. Yeah, I like that. So let's wrap this up. I want to give you guys some other resources of some bloggers and podcasters that have published articles or will be publishing articles or podcast episodes talking about the conference. Taylor Made OT, she has a fantastic post on her blog that really just highlights what to do before, during, and after the conference. And then Dr. Michael Roberts from the I Love OT podcast. If you remember back to episode 23 of mine, titled How Deep Is Your Love for OT? He was my guest on that episode. He has 2 episodes that are coming out soon. The first one is all about getting ready for the conference, and then the second one's going to be about breaking it down after we go. So be on the lookout for those episodes coming out. And then AOTA also has a top 10 reasons to attend the conference, as well as Miss Jamie OT and Mama OT. Both have articles posted on their blogs all about the AOTA conference. So I will make sure to link to all of those in the show notes. Take a look at those if you guys are looking for more information. And if you have any questions, hit me up. Hit me up on social media. You can find me on Instagram at ot.4.life, L-Y-F-E. You can find me on Twitter at OT4Life, Facebook as well. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you have comments. Did I miss anything? Is there something that, if you've been, is there something that stands out to you that maybe I forgot to mention, or maybe it's something I haven't done yet? Yeah, let me know. I want to hear from you guys. And if you're going to be there, definitely let me know. I'd love to connect. I'd love to hear from my listeners. It's going to be a great time. Absolutely amazing. Looking forward to reconnecting with my old friends. I'm looking forward to meeting all sorts of amazing new people and seeing what the 2019 American Occupational Therapy Association conference has in store for us. So I hope you guys got a lot of good information about this episode, and hopefully I'll meet you at the conference. Hey, before you go, I just wanted to say thanks for listening to today's episode. If you want to further the discussion, go to our website, otforlife.com, and join our Facebook group. If you like us, here are 3 easy ways to let us know. 1. Share our podcast with a friend, colleague, or anyone interested in occupational therapy. 2. Leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere this podcast is found. 3. Subscribe to us so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. Thanks again. We'll catch you next time, OT for Lifers.